Oh, hey. So, when you're walking and you slip and fall on a banana peel or something, do you ever feel yourself falling? No, you only feel when your head hits the ground. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's been 3 months. I was one of the unlucky few who got addicted to League after watching Arcane. If you've been up to date with Arcane news, then you probably know that Arcane didn't really bring that many new players into League. And to help us understand why is that the case, I asked a friend of mine who is an expert on this matter. Okay, ChatGPT, let's see here. Why is it hard to get into League of Legends? Steep learning curve. Toxicity in the community? Wolf's community has a reputation for being toxic. Really? League community being toxic? Are you sure? No. Okay, you said it, not me. Well, most of these points are valid. Good job, ChatGPT. In all my years getting obsessed over stuff, I'd say this is the first time of me getting obsessed over something. And at the same time, I really hate that thing. League of Legends is the worst game ever, but I like it. I'm addicted to it. So if you ever plan on giving League of Legends a chance, here's what I've experienced so far made into a neat and a very, very serious tutorial. So, first step, install the game. It takes about 30 gigabytes of your hard drive. Before that, make sure to make a Riot account and say goodbye to your family. Look, we're in League now. Oh wait, tutorial. You have to go through a 3-part tutorial first. Well, the in-game tutorial teaches you the basics of a multiplayer online battle arena game. Getting into a game after just playing the tutorial, you'll most likely die under the first tower you come across, a classic pro gamer move, or die to the first jungle monster you fight. After finishing the tutorial, you have to choose one of 5 champions. I remember choosing Misfortune because she's long ranged and I don't feel comfortable being close to the enemy. Welcome, now you're in League. This is the home screen. It changes every time Riot has a new event or when they release a new champion or skin in the game. Next to the home tab is a tab called TFT. TFT or Teamfight Tactics is a second game you get when you download League. It's an auto battler game where you build teams of champions and strategically position them to defeat 7 other players, and the last one standing is the winner. Actually, if you ranked in the top 4, you're still winning. That's why, honestly, you're better off playing TFT than League. If you still insist on playing League, then press the button that says play. When you make a new account, you unlock things gradually until you reach level 30. When you reach level 30, you can play ranked games and experience true despair as you try to climb the ranks, but get stuck in iron because the game always has someone better than you and they're not nice about it. In my defense, I don't have that time to grow my skills. League is a truly humbling experience. Let's talk about the map. League's map is split into 3 lanes, 4 jungle areas, and a river. The map has a fog of war effect, which means that both teams have limited vision and can't really see most of the map. Next, let's move on to positions. Well, each lane has a player in it except for the bottom lane. It has 2 players, an ADC who gives a lot of damage to the enemy, and a support who either heals or helps, and sometimes both. Most of the time I like to stay in the bottom lane, taking the role of support or ADC. Top lane is a one-on-one situation. It's you and the enemy player. Whoever outsmarts the other wins the fight in lane, and don't expect a lot of help from your team. Mid lane is the shortest way to the nexus, so if anyone wants to be a mid laner, they must not lose lane. You have to deal with the enemy mid laner, and sometimes the jungler comes in. So yeah, you have to be ready for constant bullying. Junglers clear the monsters in the jungle side on their team's area and help lane players while doing that, so sometimes you have to swoop in, steal a kill and leave. Also, you have to look out for dragons and other river monsters. If the enemy team gets to them first, then you most likely will lose the game. So yeah, you have to pay attention to the timer and be ready when they spawn. Just press tab. Well, I talked about the map, the positions, there's an elephant in the room. Oh, champions. Choosing a champion is tied to a lot of things. Riot, the company that owns League, wants to sell you on the League universe. It's not really working. I mean, the most controversial champion in the game, Shaco, doesn't have that much lore to him. He's just a puppet who got corrupted by dark magic. Despite being well known and most hated for his toxic kit, that's the entirety of his lore. So when you're picking a champion, you have to consider a couple of things. First, their kit, which is their abilities and passives. Second is their stats and how they scale in a game. And stats are influenced by two things, runes and item builds. So you have to choose the right runes and item builds for the right champion if you want to have stats good enough to win against the enemy. So let me give you an example by telling you about the champion that I play currently. So if I'm playing support, I like to play Lux because she's long range. She can do a lot of damage, she can root the enemy, and she has a shield. I mean, it's decent, I guess. And her global ult is the best thing about her. So Lux is an APC, ability points carry, which means she does a lot of damage with her abilities. If you're used to something like Marvel Rivals, like Jeff getting a team wipe, well, forget that in League. That's not gonna happen. And I didn't even mention ability combos and kiting and all the tips and tricks you see on TikTok and YouTube. So Lux's rune build starts with primary runes from sorcery. Sorcery runes focus on empowering abilities, and her secondary runes come from domination. Domination are focused on doing bursts of damage. You can go to the game and hover over the runes and read them for yourself. Also, her most common item to build is Looting Companion. And when you start Looting Companion, make sure to get all the amplifying tomes first, since they empower your ability damage. Also, when you're building your item, don't forget to build your boots. I keep forgetting about the boots. So this doesn't really count as a tutorial. These are just the tips I wish someone told me before going blind into League. So yeah, goodbye. Don't forget to subscribe. Tell me if I forgot something in the comments. Now, back to League. Oh god, I need therapy.